Okay, so, it just popped out. A goblin saunters out of the bushes with a dangerous glint in her eyes. She says, "Time to get fucked, slut." Thought I clicked next. Okay, you're fighting the goblin. The goblin before you is a typical example of her species, with dark green skin, pointed ears, and purple hair that would look more at home on a punk rocker. She's only about 3 feet tall, but makes up for it with her curvy body, so sporting hips and breasts that would entice any of the men in your village to were she full size. There isn't a single scrap of clothing on her, just lewd leather straps and a few clinking pouches. She does sport quite a lot of piercings, the most noticeable being large studs hanging from her purple nipples. Her eyes are a fiery red and practically glow with lust. This one isn't going to be satisfied until she has her way with you. It shouldn't be too hard to subdue such a little creature, right? Okay, going to tease. The slap my ass, the goblin seems unimpressed. You are struck a glancing blow. Oh, down by the goblin. Okay. A glancing blow, I guess that's like it just skims you or something. I'm not sure what they mean by that. Unless she looks at me and that does damage. Or fillets me. I don't know. There are a lot of ways to understand the phrase glancing blow. The goblin wounds me. The goblin uncorks a bottle full of red fluid and swings from her arm, flinging a wave of fluid at you. The red fluids hit you and instantly soak into your skin, disappearing. Your skin flushes and you feel warm. Oh no. Your loose muff clenches with an instinctual desire to be touched and filled. If you don't finish this soon, you'll give in to this potent drug. The goblin's skin remains flushed with the beginnings of arousal. Tease. I deflect. You deflect every block the tiny. You deflect and block every tiny punch the goblin throws at you. Oh, I accidentally attacked it. Damn it! I don't have a lot of time. Because I've been drugged. Goblin's eyes are dired over my sexual parts. The goblin uncorks a bottle full of green fluid and swings her arm, flinging a wave of fluid at you. The greenish fluid splash over you, making you feel slimy and gross. Nausea plagues you immediately. You have been poisoned. Okay, so I'm going to have to run out pretty soon.
Wait, you mean what?
No, I'm going to have to run from this fight pretty soon because not only have I been given some kind of aphrodisiac, but I've also been poisoned. The goblin is obviously turned on. You can smell her arousal in the air. That would be a convenient ability. You lift your top, exposing your volleyball-sized jugs to the goblin. You shake them from side to side enticingly. Your prominent nipples seem to demand her attention. The goblin definitely seems to be enjoying the show. The goblin's drooling cunt is practically soaked with her lustful secretions. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to run. Well, I don't know. It seems 50-50. Should I attack and get raped, or possibly rape, or should I just run?
Attack and get raped.
Okay.
Man getting raped is funny.
No, I mean.
Well,
like,
in this case, I'm playing as a woman.
Yeah.
A woman with a dick. But yeah.
I mean, he raped the imp, so karma would suggest that now he needs to get raped. So.
Well, actually, I didn't die. I lost 10 HP. I have 1 HP left. So I could try to run, or I could... If that last attack didn't finish her, this one will. I'm going to tease one last time. Yes! With 1 HP, I won. You lift your top, exposing the rest of the goblin. You shake them from side to side enticingly. You string your cherry-like nubs. Oh, your striking cherry-like nubs seem to demand her attention. The goblin definitely seems to be enjoying the show. The goblin groans.
Have you read all this already?
Well, yeah, but this was the finishing blow. The goblin groans and drops onto her back. Her legs spread rise, displaying amazing flexibility as one hand dives into her cunt and the other begins twisting her pierced nipples, one at a time. The display manages to stir your loins. What do you do to her, if anything, and which of your body parts do you use? So I can fuck her with my dick. I can fuck her with my dick as I jog. So I guess I'm holding her up and running in place. Or I can have her lick my pussy. Or I can just leave. My lust is at 100, so I'm not going to leave. But one of the three, pick. Dick, jog, or pussies. Huh?
Leave.
No, my lust is at 100. I can't leave. I mean, I could leave, but then I'd have to masturbate anyway. Just for time efficiency, I'll just... Yeah?
Once upon a time, you were herding cows across the ocean, and now you're playing this.
I'll lesbian rape the goblin.
Oh, God.
You
it's true,
pick up
he was
the goblin.
herding cows across the ocean.
Lesbian raping a goblin is cooler than herding cows across an ocean. You pick up the goblin, sitting her onto your knee and restraining both her arms behind your back with your left hand. You tear a piece of supple leather off her slutty garments and use it to bind her arms there. She looks up at you, her eyes wide and frightened at the thought of being at the mercy of a larger creature. In spite of it all, she seems more than a little turned on, if the juices staining your knee are any indication. You look down at her and remark, "So the little skank has a submissive streak, huh?" She blushes red and the flow of feminine fluid thickens as she nods. You know she'll probably enjoy whatever sexual act you could perform on her, so you may as well surprise her. A cruel idea forms into the back of your mind, getting revenge for her attempts to drug you. You easily rip the pouches from her belt and pull out a few random bottles. The goblin, understanding your intent, begins struggling to free herself, but you easily restrain the smaller woman and force the drugs into her mouth, one after another. When she tries to spit them out, you massage her throat, triggering her instinct to swallow. By the third bottle, she's given up on struggling and is instead trying to grind her cunt into your knee. Her mouth is open wide and her entire face is flushed reddish purple with desire. You finish force-feeding her the remaining bottles and shove her, catching her ankles to hold her over your leg with her ass in the air. The scent of her arousal and the vapors from all the drugs and aphrodisiacs give you a bit of a contact high, at least in the sense that your pussy grows puffy and moist. Your arousal can wait. This slut needs to be punished. Thwack! Your hand smacks her nicely rounded ass. You pull back, feeling drops of wetness thanks to her prominent pussy lips. The little bitch's cunt is so inflamed with the need that she's practically squirting from the simple spank. You swat her again, watching her entire body tense and feeling her fluid splatter you. "You got me wet, you cunt. Bad bitch," you scold, slapping her ass even harder. The goblin squeals, though in delight or pain, you can't be sure. You start spanking her harder and harder, turning her ass from green to red with the repeated abuse. Your entire body begins convulsing and squirting, splattering your arm with her honey. She got off on it. Well, after that kind of show, she's going to get you off too, or else. You pull her off your leg and shove her face into your pussy. She thrashes against you, too lost in her own pleasure to realize what's going on. Forcefully, you put her plump little lips on your box and grind, letting her tongue slip into your folds. Her eyes are little white slits, her pupils rolled up out of view. But there's enough of something there that her tongue recognizes the taste and starts licking. You tremble. It feels way better than it should. Perhaps some of her potions have left a residue on her lips and tongue, but you don't care. You come on the drugged green bitch, leaving the taste of pussy on her tongue. Her face has a strange dopey smile on it, and she looks like she's in some strange state in between consciousness and sleep. You grab her by the hair and toss her on the ground, watching her body twitch and jump as her orgasm continues to rack her body. It looks like it's starting to slow down. The little twat ought to be fine. You casually dress, ignoring the pants and moans from the blissed out goblin, and prepare to leave. Taking one last look over your shoulder, you realize her fluids have made a puddle bigger than her. She'll probably have a hell of a hangover when she wakes up. You sigh and saunter off, feeling a bit guilty about overdoing it. You grab 6 gems and 17 experience from the victory. There's a flagon of potent goblin ale on your defeated opponent. You place the flagon of potent goblin ale in your first pouch. Okay. So yeah, I beat the goblin.
So, do you think that Feminist Frequency will ever make a video about this game now that she's done her Kickstarter?
That would be nice. She should do a Let's Play first and then do a review, though. I decided to explore the lake.
God.
Your quick walk along the lakeshore feels good. You bet you could cover the same distance even faster next time. I'm going to explore the lake again. As you roam the shores of the lake, you find your footsteps echoing as though you were stepping on wood rather than squishing in the sandy mud of the shore. Curious, you squat down and brush the soil away, revealing the rotting form of a wooden plank. Looking carefully at the ground underfoot, you realize that it's part of a pathway, the kind that villages make to provide easier access to and from muddy rivers, lakes, and beaches. You believe you can make out the rest of the path clearly enough to follow it to its end. Do I follow the pathway? Yes. You follow the overgrown path inland, away from the shore of the lake. You pass through thick trees, struggling not to lose the path, before finally reaching what is clearly the end. In front of you lie crumbling walls, broken and scattered by the wind and rain, and by other forces entirely. Beyond them are houses that have been torn apart, burned, or collapsed. This was clearly once a village, but it was devastated at some point in the past. Demon attack is the first possibility that leaps into your mind. You examine the ruins for a time and decide to head back to camp. You don't think it would be wise to investigate further without preparing first. To the lake. You journey around the lake, seeking demons to fight. The air is fresh and the grass is cool and soft under your feet. Soft waves lap against the muddy sand of the lake shore, as if radiating outward from the lake. You pass around a few bushes carefully, being wary of hidden surprises, and come upon a small dock. The dock is crafted from old growth trees lashed together with some crude rope. Judging by the appearance of the rope, it is very old and has not been seen. It has not been seen in quite some time. Tied to the dock is a small rowboat, only about 7 feet long and 3 feet wide. The boat appears to be in much better condition than the dock, and appears to be brand new. You have discovered the lake boat. Okay. How long have I been recording thus far? Wow, this has been well over 15 minutes, so I guess we're done. I hope everyone has enjoyed this little show, and have a good day.